Hey, episode 84 of the Nashville Artist Podcast is now out, featuring the passionate and comedic singer-songwriter Bryant Rikard. Bryant draws major inspiration from Layne Staley of Alice in Chains. Hearing Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana as a kid was a pivotal moment that made him pick up the guitar the very next day. He opens up about the challenges of maintaining an authentic songwriting voice when writing daily. We dive into Bryant's recording process with his band, Safe or Dead, and the precision required to nail the perfect vocal take, versus the freedom he feels when playing live. He also talks about the importance of cherishing your dedicated fans, even if not everyone shows up. He reveals his favorite local venue, the Cobra, his love of Dino's cheese fries, and an outrageous Jackass stunt he wants to try, plus his deep appreciation for the world of pro wrestling. Enjoy the podcast episode. Today.
Woke up, got a little workout and did some cardio. Just ran about probably a mile and a half.
Awesome.
Went home, shit, shower, shaved, got in the car. Here I am.
That's awesome. Did you just like run outside?
Nah, I went to Planet Fitness and I just ran there. You know, I feel like if I'm running down the road, I'll see somebody I know, and then they'll like mess with me, and I'm trying to stay focused.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm one of those guys like, hey, what up?
Right, and then you get sidetracked.
But like if I'm at the gym, everybody's there to get their stuff done. So, I mean, I'm not jacked or anything, but I feel a lot better. I started a diet in November. I was like 261, and now I'm like 220.
Dude, congratulations. Yeah. That's huge.
I feel a lot better. I still got a little ways to go. I want to get down to like 195, 200 or in that range, and then kind of go back up in muscle.
Yeah.
But I've been a chunky boy for most of my life, so I'm ready to be a slim gentleman.
What has your diet been?
Carnivore.
Really?
Yeah.
Mostly just meat?
Yeah, and you know, the first day of eating clean, like ate like rice and egg and meat and stuff like that. And the very next day I felt like different waking up. I wasn't groggy or ill or anything like that. I was like ready to go, ready to mow the yard or do whatever was needed to be done that day.
You had more energy?
Yeah, most definitely.
So you haven't eaten any carbs for the most part? Or?
Well, there's a bag of Cheetos in my car right now, so I'm not too strict with it, but I mean.
What is it, dinner or lunch for you?
Breakfast, I'll just wake up and kind of not eat for a few hours, and say I eat at 2:00 before I go into work. I won't eat until like 2:00 when I'm, off of work. Like a whole 12-hour like intermittent fasting or whatever it's called.
From 2 p.m. till 2 a.m.
Yeah, I won't eat.
So
and if I do get to the point where I need to eat, I have like some cashews I keep with me, and I'll give me a handful of them. And
so when do you eat?
Whenever I was like, it's been 12 hours, pretty much a 12-hour period in between meal, but my meals are really carnivore.
So like just like steak, chicken?
Yeah, steak, chicken, egg. And it's crazy. I'm not, I wasn't even an egg guy, but I started fixing them, make them real fluffy and put a little bit of
milk.
And just eat them like that. And yeah. I mean, I dig it. I like it. I feel great. I can fit in these pants again, so that's good.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's a huge amount of weight since November.
Yeah, and like I was talking to Parker Forbes, and he was like, "You don't look like that," because like I wear like dark clothing to kind of, keep it down. But I feel great, and I'm seeing results, and that's making me want to keep going. Yeah.
Yeah. most of your workouts like cardio based, or do you lift weights?
Yeah.
Or?
I'll do cardio and then chest, trying to get the man titties away. Even though people love them, I gotta get rid of them. It's time for it to go.
That's hilarious. I understand. Well, yeah, dude. From having coming since November, that's a lot of weight.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
that's
man.
inspiring.
A lot of steaks.
A lot of steaks.
Yeah, luckily.
What kind of steak? Flank steak? What?
Got a good paycheck. I'll get some ribeyes.
Oh.
If I got bills to pay, I'll get just dinner steaks.
How do you like to cook them?
Medium rare.
Like grill?
I'll just have like
pan?
Yeah. Oh man.
Nice.
I was being there my grandmother, she loves to cook, so even as soon as I'll set the steaks into in the fridge, I'll like go out or something, come back and she'll have them cooked. I'm like, come on, man, like let me do it. But she wants to feed me, I guess.
That's awesome.
It was, be the grandmotherly type, I guess, and cook my steaks. But most of the time, I've got to sneak cook my steaks. So I'll put a little bit of like that healthy butter crap you put in there. I don't know.
Ghee?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. It was like low fat butter, and I was like, oh, hey, that'll help. Put it in there, and just like a little sprinkle of pepper, salt, and
that's awesome.
Boom.
That's awesome. All right, we'll get started here.
Yeah, awesome.
Hey everyone, welcome to Nashville Artists. I'm Jordan, and today Bryant Rikard is here.
What's up?
Thank you for coming.
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely. So, where are you from?
I am from Mickey, Tennessee.
Mickey.
It's a tiny town about 15 minutes from Savannah, Tennessee, where Caden, Henry, and Noah's from, the other guys in my band. It's right on the Mississippi state line, or you can go like 20 miles that way and be in Alabama.
Wow.
So we're like right on the line.
How far away is that? From
here, like 2 hours and 35, 40 minutes down there. So not a bad drive, just long and boring.
Right.
And then you'll hit all this, and it's like, hey,
I'm here.
Yeah. But yeah.
Cool.
Mickey, Tennessee. People think it's spelled Mitchie, but
Mitchie.
Yeah.
Mickey.
It looks just like Mitchie on paper, yeah.
Michhie.
Yeah, Michie. Michie. I think.
Okay, I got you.
I'm not a speller, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry.
Mickey, I got you. Do you have any siblings?
Yes, I have a sister. I have a stepsister. I have 2 half sisters, and have a brother. He's not really my brother, but I call him that.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Are they into music and art?
My half sisters, they're younger, and they're, one of them's kind of getting into music. They asked me if I could help her write a song. I gave her what advice I know, and Josh is about the only one that will seek out new music. He doesn't play any instruments, but every time I'm with him, he's like, check out this new song. So definitely a lover of music. So I got one that likes music. So I'm going on a tangent here, but
no, that's why I asked.
But
what are their names?
Destiny, Josh, Ashton, and Gracie. So those are the ones, and I got 2 other ones that are kind of off the side,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What about your parents? Are they into art or music?
My mom is. That's probably where I get my creativeness, because, you go out to her yard, she's got like a rubber boot she's made into a flower pot and stuff. So she's always doing creative things. And my dad's just a truck driver. He drives tour buses for like Brantley Gilbert and people like that. And,
wow.
Well, maybe not Brantley Gilbert, like country people. Yeah. And he's just a good old boy from the South, I guess. Just, hanging out fishing when he's not driving truck, or just hanging around. But where I got most of my music taste is from my grandfather. So.
Oh yeah, let's talk about him. What kind of music, or like?
Oh, Pop. He came from.
Or art and music, I guess.
I think he's a big art. I think he appreciates art, but like he doesn't go out and be like, oh, look at that painting, But music, he's definitely, because he graduated high school in like 71, 70, 71. So like that whole hippie 60s boom, he tells a story about the first time he seen the Beatles on TV.
Oh yeah.
Like he heard Ed Sullivan go, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Beatles." And it's so cool to hear because like he's glued to the TV, and his brothers and sisters glued to the TV. And my great grandfather's like, "Oh, damn Beatles! I hate the damn Beatles!" Like look at them haircuts. But he really turned me on to like it was first the Beach Boys.
Oh yeah.
And then Elvis. And he was like, "You ready for some shit you never heard before?" or something like that. And I was like, "Yeah." And then he played the Beatles for me for the first time. The first song I heard was "Love Me Do," and just the harmonies from those guys was just crazy. And yeah, and then I got a little bit older and I kind of ventured out on my own.
Nice.
Started looking into more like grunge and alternative music and punk and stuff like that. And I have an appreciation for outlaw country music. Not this new bro stuff, whatever they're doing out here in Nashville. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
What were you into as a little kid?
Oh, as a little kid, musically or just
Like in general?
Wrestling, professional wrestling, man. And I might be a little embarrassed saying it. Fuck, I don't care. What's happening now in wrestling has kind of brought me back. I hadn't watched in like 10 years, and I've caught up with what's happening and what they're doing now. And I dig it. It makes me feel like a kid again. Because it was getting to the point when I was a kid, like I knew I knew Undertaker wasn't dead, like I knew he wasn't a zombie or anything. But like I just liked how are we going to get to what we want, in the story. And it got to the point where it was like it was like messing, like they was insulting our intelligence, like it was almost like, come on, really. And now they got it kind of more real, like they're actually taking real life drama and kind of throwing it in there, and I think it's pretty cool. The Rock's back, and he's a bad guy, and he's telling people to piss off and stuff.
The Rock's a heel?
Yeah, he's a heel, man. Heel Rock is back, and see, when I was a kid, I remember the first match watching was Austin Rock, at WrestleMania 19 or something, and my dad rented it. And Rock was a bad guy. He just did a few movies. He was Hollywood Rock. And man, he used to piss me off because he put on Stone Cold's vest and hit him with a stunner. I was like, you don't do that to Stone Cold, But yeah, I always loved Rock's heel work in WWE and all that. Yeah, I'm a big fan of good storytelling,
Nice. What lately, or what WWE story was your favorite narrative?
Oh man, right now it's the whole Cody Rhodes thing that's happening. I dig that, man. And then
how does that go? Or like, what is the situation?
See, there's Dusty. This sounds crazy just talking about it, but Dusty Rhodes, he's a big legend from like the 80s and stuff. And in the NWA territory and WCW and stuff, he's a huge star down there in the South. And then he comes to WWE, and Vince McMahon kind of like buries him in the writing, that kind of stomps on what he was down there. And he never won a title there. And now Cody Rhodes came in the company, didn't do shit. Nobody liked him, I guess. And then they booted him, and he went onto the indie scene and just destroyed it. It was like great. He was like becoming like a top tier wrestler. Started AEW, and then dipped away from his own company, went back to WWE, and trying to finish the story his dad never, got to complete. And Rock's cousin, Roman Reigns, got the belt. Now Rock's coming back, and he's raising eyebrows and kicking asses and stuff like that, man. But
who was your favorite wrestler when you were a kid?
Oh man, Austin that one time, but I kind of figured out early on that I just watched his last match. But Jeff Hardy was my shit. Jeff Hardy and CM Punk was like my two dudes. And when they started going at it, man, it was like watching your parents fight. When they had a storyline together, it was like, man.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, all in all, just a big fan of the storytelling. It's like, yeah, I know it's predetermined and stuff like that, but I just like how we get to that spot, you know?
Right. I mean, it's violent theater.
Yeah, it's pretty much, it's like, you know, I've had people like talk shit to me, watch wrestling, and then they go out and watch a play. I'm like, it's the same thing.
Right,
Like,
it is. It's all staged.
yeah, but yeah, that's I guess my one little nerdy thing I have.
Awesome. So, like, what first got you into music and art?
I've always been a lover of listening to music. And as a kid, Nickelodeon had those shows where they'd have like the rock stars like Drake and Josh. You know, he had the Fender Stratocaster. He had that red Stratocaster. I was like, man, I want a guitar like that. And I always would pretend I was playing guitar and singing, and never really learned. Just continued just listening to music. And then I was helping my stepfather move out of his house into our new house, and I was looking for new music. And I was sitting there, and I was like, I seen Nirvana. I was like, oh. My mom had that album with, the Nevermind album. I was like, I recognize that band. So, if she liked them, I should like them. And I heard Smells Like Teen Spirit for the first time, and I picked up the guitar the next day.
How old were you then?
12, 13. But all through my life, I was listening to music. I knew facts about Motorhead and Ozzy and all this stuff, but I just didn't, I guess I was going to be more of a music journalist than a musician. And I saw that Teen Spirit music video for the first time, and then picked up from there, met Caden, and kind of left the guitar to him because he's crazy at it, and just picked up singing then.
So y'all known each other since 12 or 13?
I'm like 3 years older than Caden, I think. How I met Caden was I got signed up for a talent show thing at like this bar and grill we have in town. And I seen Caden like sitting over there, and he was 13 years old. I was 16, and he's like sitting over there. At the time, he had like long hair, bandana. He's just sitting there. And back at my school, there wasn't really a lot of musically inclined people. So you'd have like these kids that'd be like, I want to play guitar. So mom and dad would buy them the big Marshall stack and the Les Paul and pedal boards and shit like that, and they never use it,
Right.
So I seen Caden sitting over there, and I'm not gonna lie, and I've told him this, I judged a book by its cover. I was like, here, he's got all that shit, and he's gonna go up there and play Wonderwall. Like, that's what he's gonna do. Dude, he goes up there, this kid goes up there and rips through like 3 Guns N' Roses songs and like a Kiss song, and just blows everybody away. Like, because I thought I went up there and played my Neil Young and my whatever else I played, and everybody else was doing it like drunk karaoke, and I was like, I've got this. I've won it. Everybody loves Neil Young.
Yeah.
And then he went up there, and I was like, oh, never mind. And I was talking to him through the whole night, and he was just a cool ass dude, and we've been buds ever since, man.
Nice.
We started a band not soon after that. It was just a little cover band that disbanded. Me and him, always kind of worked on stuff, made like voice memos of like songs we've written, but we really just kind of went our own way. He went and done a few other bands, and I done like open mics and sit down acoustic and play. And then in 2020, excuse me, I texted him or he texted me like, hey, let's start a band. And we had a few members in 2020, and we wanted to be like how we are now, like, oh, we got originals, no covers, we're punk, because it's all cover scene back home, so it's all like, there's great bands down there, and I know they write good songs, but if they just break away from that cover scene, or maybe come up here and play a few shows where they allow you to have originals mixed in, I think they would go to the moon. But nobody was really booking us down there. We didn't really have any connections up here, and we just disbanded again. And then I moved up here, and I met Parker, Cole, and all them. And at that point, the Criticals has really became like one of my top 5 bands.
That's awesome.
And Parker was like, "Send me your demos." And I was like, "Mm." I was scared. I was nervous. I was like, "Man, like you're in my top 5. What if it like sucks and you hate me and I don't know, you block me or whatever?" He's like, "Come on." So I just sent him to him. I was like, "Whatever." And he picked Under Your Tongue. He's like, "I like that one." He's like, he looked at me. He's like, "Let's record it." And I was like, "I don't know how to play it." And I was like, so I just called Caden, and Caden was like, "I don't really know how to do this or whatever with rhythm or bass." So we called Noah in, and then that's how it started. Then we brought Henry in, and we don't have a drummer right now, but here we are.
Yeah, hey, we're still able to put the vision together.
Yeah.
That's great. So going back here, so you started guitar around 12.
Mm-hmm.
What, like, and you said Nirvana, like watching that Teenage Spirit, Smell Like Teenage Spirit, that like made you pick up the guitar.
Yeah, because it was it just seemed like Kurt Cobain. It was like it literally just looked like that guy just picked up a guitar and was like, just started playing it, and I was like so used to like all these great bands that would have be like technically, I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to take years and years of music lessons to get to playing guitar, and Kurt just like made it so like just get up and have soul and learn a few chords and have soul and just hit it.
Yeah. What when did you start singing?
2015. I had a cousin. She's passed away. She lived in Alabama, and she was like talentedly, like vocally, like good. And I was always just sticking to like rhythm. And I showed her one of my crappy songs I had at like 15, and I sung it to her. And she was like, "You need to keep up singing." And I was like 15 then, so that was, she really lit the fire under my ass to try to work on my voice and work on writing and stuff like that. And meeting Caden, I pretty much gave up guitar on stage. I was like, this dude, leave it to him, Yeah, he's got it. But
that's cool. What, after you sang your song, like what other singers or who were some of your influences?
Vocally,
and guitar wise.
Vocally, Layne Staley is from Alice in Chains is my shit, dude. I forgot to ask, can I cuss on here?
Yeah.
Okay, it's too late. I've already dropped like 2 F-bombs.
We've smoking. Yeah.
Well,
it's not for children.
It's not for children. It's like a late time podcast or whatever. But Layne Staley, always loved Ozzy's voice. Bon Scott, Elvis, Axl Rose. Those are my 5. Maybe not in order, but Layne Staley is definitely number 1. And then guitarist, number 1 is John Frusciante. 2 Slash. 3 Angus Young. What number are we on? I lost my track. 4 Jerry Cantrell. 5 Caden Stone.
Nice.
Caden Stone can move higher. He's not a millionaire yet. Those other guys are millionaires. Once he makes $1 million, he'll go up. Like, definitely, Caden is on my top 5 greatest guitar players.
That's awesome. What is your favorite thing about his playing?
Like, it's like sometimes it seems like he pulls stuff out of thin air. Like, how did you come up with that fucking great riff out of nowhere? Like, we'd just be like, ding, ding, him and Noah's, trying to like come up with something. I'm trying to catch a melody. Maybe they could go off of that. And then Caden would just be like, what about this? And it'll be great. It'll be like Egotistic Love's riff or something, I'm like, oh. And just how like his stage presence is like a rabid dog is what I call it. He's just like, you look, when I look over, it's just like hair, mustache, earrings, just a blur, and he's just like getting it, man. And you met him, he's a real reserved guy, but as soon as his feet touch that stage and he flips that amp on,
Another person.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I'm kind of the same way, but it's like when I get up there, I'm just like, "What's up?" You know, I don't really know. I don't really. I don't know. I don't know how I am on stage. I'm just there,
Nice.
there to sing. But yeah, his not only his musical abilities, he's just such a great guy. Everybody in my band are great people,
That's awesome.
and you know, like I said, I knew him when he was 13. He didn't have any hair on his face or nothing. You know, he was just a kid, and I watched him all through high school, man. And he's like a little brother to me. I love him to death. Same as Noah, same as Henry. Henry's older than me, so
Nice.
I'm the little brother in that situation.
How old is Henry?
25, 26, I believe.
Nice. Did they all still live in the same town?
Yeah. Noah moved off, like right when he started high school, moved up to Columbia, and Henry, I guess, moved like after high school, college, or whatever.
So,
you know, up to like the Green Hill area.
Oh, I gotcha. Nice. Where do y'all rehearse at?
Savannah. They'll come down there like Henry will come down there and record with his buddy Dimitri, who did our Egotistic Love, who produced it, and but we meet in Savannah every Sunday, or try to every Sunday.
Nice.
And so like Henry's already down here most of the time, doing something in the studio with Dimitri, and Noah, he's a little bit closer than Henry is to Savannah. So
Cool.
Noah's in the middle ground.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's us.
So
Band of Misfits.
yeah. I've got other questions about the band that I'll ask. Why would you say you're drawn to music and art?
It's like a way to express, way to bleed. It's like a good way to bleed, like, because there's some people out there that can't express their feelings vocally. Like they can't sit there and be like, "I'm sad" or "I feel like this." So for me, I find it a way to express myself, to blow off steam. Yeah, more in a therapeutic way is what I was drawn to it, and I think that's the same for a lot of other people too.
Yeah.
Sorry if I'm giving like these drawn out,
No, that's good.
Philosophy answers over here.
No, that's great.
I'm trying to answer honestly as I can.
Exactly.
Mr. Officer.
That's why I'm trying to ask you questions to get you to tell us about yourself.
Yeah. Art, my art is kind of weird. It's like I'll get a canvas, I'll get all these colors, I'll put on the latex glove, and I'll stick my hand in this paint, and just like that, and be like, what comes out of it? Because it's a lot of times that's what my mind feels like, is a big abstract painting, just so much shit's kind of going on. I don't want to sound like a douchebag, but like my mind is something incredible. Like, no, it's just kind of, I'm ADHD, so I'm like all over the place. So that's why I'm just, that's my art. Or I'll do something I seen on TikTok. Like there's a guy, his name's I think it's Casey Does Everything, and he'll do like the planet drawings where he'll get a bowl.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I've done a few of those, and those are great.
Awesome.
But yeah, doing the abstract art or writing and stuff like that, that's just a good way for me to blow off steam, get things off my chest, stuff like that.
Nice. So how do you develop your artistic skills now? Do you have like routines, or how do you go about practicing? And
if I'm at work or something and like a line pops in my head, I'll turn around with my phone and just be like, so the boss man can't see me, and then type it in and then slip it back in my pocket, and maybe that line will get thrown in at the beginning of a Safer Dead song so I can bounce off of it,
Yeah.
Or, I could use it for my own, but I don't write every single day, and I think that is what kind of helps me. Like the tank never goes empty, it kind of feels like, because I'm scared if I write every day, I'll kind of lose like the ability to write honestly.
Yeah.
Yes. Because that's what I want to. I want to write honestly. And because there's so much shit nowadays on the radio, you'll hear and be like, you didn't do that, you know?
Yeah.
But like, I just want to write honestly and stuff like that. So my routine is pretty much when it pops in my head, write it down. If I got a melody, you know, like, I'll just voice memo it and it'll come up later at a Safer Dead thing or when I'm picking on guitar or I'm at another buddy's house and they have a riff, you know, something like that. But, yeah. And I really think not writing every day kind of helps too.
Yeah.
You know,
like writing as in lyrics or writing?
Yeah.
Like, do you play the guitar every day or?
No, I'll write like lines, but when I don't write full ass like things every day. Maybe a line every day. So kind of backtracking here, but yeah. But I don't want blank on it. It's this monster. But yeah. Just
Melody.
we need to lay off of this, yeah.
Nice. So, who are of all time, who are your favorite artists, bands?
Oh, Alice in Chains is number 1. Nirvana's number 2. Beatles number 3. 4 Ozzy. 5 Elvis. Yeah, those are mine. But Layne Staley is the one I'm like. That's the guy I really look at for inspiration because he wrote so honestly.
Yeah.
You know, about his addiction and depression, everything he was going through. And so did Jerry Cantrell too. You know, he wrote a lot of those songs. And that just, you know, write honestly.
Yeah.
That's what, if I could give advice to anybody, write honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want it to sound corny, but like, write from what's in the heart. But yeah, do it, man. Like, you know, even if it don't make sense to other people, it'll make sense to you. You got your problems out, you know, hopefully. But yeah, that Layne Staley is my number 1 goat, you know.
Right. What is your favorite song by Alice in Chains?
Oh God, this is a hard one. One where it's just Layne Staley, "What the Hell Have I?" But the best one that like demonstrates the songwriting harmonies of Layne Staley and Jerry Cantrell is "Don't Follow" off the Jar of Flies album. That whole Jar of Flies album, that's just like a baby making record, dude. It is so good. It's like, I recommend it. It's got, of course, Nutshell. That's the biggest song that's on there.
Right.
Rotten Apple's good off that album, but yeah, I have to have 2 answers on that one. What the Hell Have I and Don't Follow. Because What the Hell Have I really, I think, it's not one of their most popular songs, but like Layne is in the zone, and it's really just Layne singing most of it with, you know, Jerry doing harmonies, but Don't Follow, it's like both of them doing a verse. So it's beautiful.
Wow. Okay, cool. How did your song Egotistic Love come about?
Pretty much like Caden just pulled the riff out of thin air, and it went through a couple of different phases. We recorded one version at Parker Forbes' place, and then we wasn't really vibing with it. We've made a few changes and stuff, and went to Dimitri's. I might mispronounce his name here, but Dimitri I can't even say Dimitri. Whatever. I'll send you his Instagram if you can put it up on the screen. I don't know, but we recorded there, and got the vocals and all the other stuff. The drums was recorded at Battle Tapes, over here in Nashville. If you put a gun to my head and said, "Go to that place right now," I could not tell you, but I knew it was somewhere in Nashville. But because Jeremy's place over there, I mean, like, he has a drum room, and it just gives you that big bottom sound that you want, And he's such a cool guy too, and he's got a little black cat with a shortened tail, and studio cat. He walks around, hangs out. I think his name's Bear.
That's amazing.
So shout out to Jeremy and Bear. I have to shout them out. But yeah, it was pretty much just one of those jam sessions that, boom. And they was like, dun, 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 and then all of a sudden I went, she's kind of arrogant. And then we just went on from there. That's normally how it goes. I'll say one line, and then we'll write it down, and then we'll just build off of that.
I love how when you sing, you can't tell that you have an accent.
Oh, really? It's kind of like, I'm glad.
It's like you've removed it. That's why I have to listen to Neil's music so much.
Yeah. I don't want, because if I have an accent in these songs, it would just be like a country guy singing like alternative indie rock or something.
Like, it's amazing when you sing completely different. It's just wild.
Yeah, dude, I had a dude I was working with up here. I hate to get off track, but like this dude I was working with, he was kind of an asshole. And we're driving, and he goes, I think I know why everybody thinks you're an idiot. And I looked at him, I was like, I didn't fucking ask, but okay. And he was like, it's because of your accent, your southern accent. People think you're an idiot. And I was like, what do you want me to do? Start speaking British? Like, what do you want me to do? Like,
Jeez, that guy sounds like an ass.
Yeah, he got fired not too long after that. So I hope he's watching. But yeah, man. So like I've always see, but like I said earlier, like back home.
I didn't mean that in any.
No. No, that dude meant it in a hurtful way. Everybody else, every new person I meet, they're like, "You got an accent." I'm like, "Sure," you know, because like back home, I don't really have
that
much. For other people, if you pull up to my house, it look like you're in the boonies, just woods and gravel roads all around. But yeah, I don't. Around people back home, I
guess it's not. I just noticed distinctly when you sing.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Is that intentional? I mean,
I just kind of just sang how I do.
That's awesome.
But thank God I don't have the accent. I don't want to sound like a sad cowboy.
Yeah. So, what would you say inspires your creativity?
It's a good one. I don't know, like certain songs will do it. Certain maybe lyrics and songs or how a vocal melody is. It'll be like, I want to write a song similar to that one, and then it kind of turns into my own thing. You know what I mean? Like that's not like I'm trying to copy the song, but it just gives me like I want to write something like that. That badass, And but most of the time it just kind of hits me, and I'm like, with the phone, like, and go about. And if I have something else, I'll sit there and feel it's all out of me, And excuse me. That's pretty much it. Just whenever it hits me, I do it. And yeah, whenever it's like the shits. Whenever it hits you, you got to do it.
So, how would you best describe the type of artist you are?
Hopefully honest. I know I don't have a lot of material out. We got a lot more coming, and I'm gonna do a lot more. I like making people laugh too. So, but just honest.
Yeah.
Honest and groovy, I guess. I hope everybody digs our stuff.
Yeah. What would you say is one of the most honest things you've revealed in their lyrics about yourself? Or
there's one that hadn't came out yet. I don't think it'll come out as a single, but 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. I got a bull in my brain and a knife in my back. $1 bills and crushed up sins. And then Caden added the last part. The sooner I give in, it makes me spin. Because originally I wrote it. I really like the way it makes me spin. So that's the most honest, because that's going kind of personal.
Yeah. What does that mean?
I had a dark period. Everybody has times when they get knocked down to their knees and they're not the best version of themselves. But you just gotta get back up before the referee counts to 10 and keep going. And it's just about that rough spot I went through 5-6 years ago. So, kind of was doing things I wasn't supposed to do. Wasn't a good person. Wasn't a good friend to people. So every day now I try to be the best version of myself. Sometimes it's hard, but
Yeah.
I got a lot of good people on this. I got my band on my side. I've got friends up here. I got friends everywhere, and good, friends with good heads on their shoulders. So.
That's awesome.
So if I ever feel like I'm slipping, I'll go hang out with them. They'll take my mind off of it, and I'll be able to get it back in order and good,
That's awesome. That's the best.
Yeah, now every day I wake up and I'm like, hell yeah, I woke up,
Yeah.
Now I'm like, yeah. Especially now the songs are coming out, and I'm like, man, I'm just happy to be here, dude.
Yeah.
I don't want to get all mushy over here, but I'm just so happy.
Yeah, dude.
Happy
you're here too.
Yeah, thanks, man.
So what are your strengths and weaknesses as an artist?
Strengths. I can write a catchy melody, man. That's my strength, man. I can write a damn good catchy song, That's me, not be cocky, but like, I'm just a melody nut. And my weaknesses, recording vocals is kind of difficult sometimes. Because it's like, you're kind of closed in, everybody's listening to you. Yeah. And I've always said this, and I'll say it till the day I die or they sew my mouth shut. I think me vocally, I sound better live, and I think the boys sound better live. And, that's just me.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because, like, the vibe and, like, I'm just feeding off and we're all going 90-0 in cadence, hair, mustache, and earrings, jumping around. And maybe that's why I think we sound better live, but recording vocals is hard, man, because you got to hit the right pitches. On stage, if you kind of go flat, the guitars will kind of help and the drums will kind of help drown it out, unless it's like really flat, or sharp or whatever. But in the studio, you got to be on point, man. You got to be on point because nobody wants to have to auto-tune their vocals up a bunch,
Right.
So, like, I try to hit everything, boom, 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 boom. If I don't do it, the boys get on the mic. Let's try it again. You got it. Come on. They're always supportive.
That's awesome.
And, yeah, it's great, too, recording vocals because Noah harmonizes with me. So, like, he can help me, if I do have a weakness or something, he can help me get to it. We're all pretty helpful in the band.
Yeah, that's awesome. But build each other up.
Yeah. I mean,
be a team.
Yeah, like I'm always rooting for them. Anything Caden does, like, I don't know if he mentioned on his podcast when he came here, but he does like synth stuff, like synth file stuff. And me personally, like, it was never my type of music, like the synth instrumental stuff. But I was listening to his stuff, and it was like, dude, he's making me a fan, Like, yeah. And I told him, like, he makes this stuff where it's like, man, he sent me this one that it almost felt like I was going on a roller coaster, and it just never dropped. It was like, it just kept me on that edge, and I was like, damn, like all the other ones, like I'm used to like the sky stuff, but like, man, Caden's got something cooking on them synths.
That's awesome. He does. Does he have like little drum machines with it too?
Yeah, he's got, well, no, his new one is just synths, I think.
Oh, it's just synths.
Yeah. He had one of those old ones with like the pad,
Yeah.
But now he's got the whole shebang where he's like, or I don't know what he does. But like, he's in there. I know he's cooking.
Mad scientist.
Yeah. And, yeah. Forgot what the question was, but.
No worries. So, how long have you been coming around Nashville and stuff, like, for music and everything else?
Since 2021. I was 21, yeah. I started really coming up here when I was legal to drink. And came up here to a Critical show at Basement East. And was blown away. Moved up here with some family. Well, moved to Murfreesboro with some family. Stuff happened. They was getting ready to move somewhere else, so I moved back home, and I've just been hopping back and forth, making my special guest appearances and meet and greets or whatever. I don't know, but and normally if Parker's like, "Hey, I got a weekend myself, come up here and hang out," or Henry or whoever,
nice.
I'll make a trip. Luckily I can make a day trip out of it too, So.
That's awesome. So, music is what initially brought you here.
Oh yeah, most definitely. It wasn't Broadway. I'll tell you that. I don't know if I told you, but coming here, my GPS took me through Broadway.
What?
I don't know why,
dude.
Like if I knew you lived like in like east kind of area, I'll just be like East Nashville and then just find it.
I don't know why it.
I don't know, but I made that turn. I was like, shit. Here we go. I seen a little cowboy hat on, and I was like, fuck. Kid Rock's big inbred honky tonk or whatever he's got down there.
Right.
Hey, I've been there, and the house band that plays there, like they're pretty badass.
Oh yeah,
they're pretty badass.
I've got a buddy who plays there, the house band.
Oh yeah. And I think the band's name's like Hippies and Cowboys or something.
Huh.
I don't know if that's the name. I see their TikTok lives that pop up. I'm like, hey, I seen them.
Oh, yeah.
Dude hopped on the bar with like champagne. He was like, pour some sugar on me. And I'm like, whoa. Well, you can do that.
It's getting wild.
Yeah. I mean, it's Kid Rock's place. I mean, but yeah, I try to stay away from Broadway, dude. Right. I don't like it. I like Printer's Alley.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it just because.
Where do you like to go there?
There is a blues bar there. Oh, I can't think of the name. Every time I go there, I'm kind of hammered. But yeah, it's got a pretty cool stuff. It's got like an upstairs, like catwalk deal where you can watch the band, and in that one little stretch, you can walk to bar and bar with your drink. So that's pretty cool. But Broadway is just too crowded, man.
Yeah, hordes of people.
Yeah. Now, if I have friends that want to come up here, I'll go with them down there.
Sure, yeah, just to come see it.
But like, I'm over here like, man, I want to go to like Dino's or
Dino,
or like
Dukes,
Dukes, like stuff like that. And like, but they were like, let's go to Jason Aldean's. I'm like, oh shit, whatever.
You're like, if I'm drunk enough, I'll go.
Yeah. Last time I went with the Killjoy guys. They was doing like Man on the Street stuff, and I was filming them. And dude, it was like bananas. Like it was like a Saturday night, and everybody was like shoulder to shoulder.
Wait, the Killjoy guys, y'all went down to Broadway?
Yeah, the band Killjoy?
Yeah.
We went down to Broadway.
Mookie?
Yeah, Mookie, yeah. I love him. I love all them guys.
Yeah.
Me, him, and Lawrence went down there, and
Lawrence.
Yeah. They had microphones, and I was just recording them, and they're like, what do you think about Killjoy or whatever? And people, I don't think we really got anything too crazy, but it was just so fucking packed, dude. It was like, and some people don't wear deodorant.
Yeah, the smells.
Yeah, it's like a trail mix of smells, and I was
like, That's hilarious. So, what would you say is something you've learned being around here?
Be yourself, especially in this like indie East Nashville scene or whatever. It's just be yourself. And when I first came up here, I was trying to like, I guess, be cooler than I actually am or whatever. And I guess people started picking up on it, and then I was, just be yourself, man. That's it. Just be yourself. And driving. I learned a lot of driving on them interstates, dude.
Gotta watch out.
Yeah, like as soon as I leave here this weekend and go back home, I'll be driving like I'm still up here, like flying and like just be yourself, be friendly, live life.
Do you have a favorite venue?
Cobra. Cobra's got a pretty good stage. I exit in. I've never played that stage, but watching the Criticals and all the bands play there, I like the setup. I don't even think the setup's the same now. They got bought out by somebody. But just the history behind exit in stage, I always liked that venue, but I never got to play it. But Cobra is the main one.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I love it.
Good production. Stage.
Oh yeah. We played a Springwater Supper Club, and that was pretty cool. I always liked the, like the dim, like secluded type, like looking places.
Yeah.
And it was nice. Excuse me. But like the stage is like not very big, So you're like making eye contact with these people. So I was just like I'd be singing and I look up and I lock eyes with somebody. I'm like, oh, time to close my eyes again. Luckily, Mikey D'Amelio is like, he's normally like front stage and he's like hyping us up. So I'll just stay on Mikey the whole time, you know.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Do you, what about food? Do you have favorite foods around here?
Cheese fries I got at Dino's that one time was great. When I worked at the lighting place here, there was like a food truck I used to go to all the time called Bang Bang Hibachi, and that's my shit right there.
Oh, wow.
I hope they're still like around.
Sounds amazing. I love hibachi.
Yeah, we'd get like, we'd get our own like hibachi thing, and then me and somebody else would like throw in on rolls and stuff, and we'll get some sushi, and we'd sit in there, man. Oh yeah, I'd probably spent half of my life savings at Bang Bang Hibachi because I'd eat there every day. I loved it, and I was like, let's burn a hole through my pocket, you know.
Right.
But yeah, that's probably my favorite place. It's kind of those that food truck nobody really knows about. You gotta hear it word of mouth.
Right.
But yeah, right off of Brick Church, I believe. That's because that's where I was working over in Brick Church Drive. That industrial area right there. I was working at Lot Event Productions. So
nice. What were you doing there?
We would do audio visual work and lighting for these corporate events or these big, gigantic, rich taxpayer weddings. And I mean, giant weddings, dude. And we'd hang like chandeliers and lights and hook up the TV to show the photo album of the family and speakers and stuff like that. And it was great. I loved everybody that worked there, man. Still do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you learn a lot working there?
Oh, yeah. I still didn't know how to the only thing I had a problem with, and me and Henry had to talk about this last Sunday, is I did all this stuff, lights and helping with the audio stuff, but I couldn't roll the chords up right. Like that was yeah, it was like some system default up here. I'm like, then I just hand it off to somebody else, and or just crumple it up, put it at the bottom of the box, and just sit there and be like, oh, that's in there. It's my job.
Yeah.
Put it away.
How long did you work there?
Probably about 8 months, almost a year. Then I moved back home, and yeah, I loved it up there, man. Like I said, we go to Bang Bang Hibachi, and days we didn't have jobs, we would stay at the office and just fuck around with lights and yell in the microphone to see if speakers work and shit. It is nice. The owner is, probably one of the best bosses I ever had. So
that's awesome.
Shout out Clint.
Do you think if you ever move here, you'll?
Oh yeah, I mean, if they're hiring or if they'll have me.
Nice.
They might not have the same opinion about me. They might be like, that guy fucking sucked. But I love him. Now, my buddy Chris, I still talk to him time to time. But yeah, hopefully, if I do come back up here, if this housing market crashes, I'll be able to grab a house and get up here and be in the 615. That is the area code, right? 615?
Right.
Okay. I've been saying that, and I don't know if it's right or not.
It is. So, what is some advice you'd give to someone who's going to move here and do art? Music.
East Nashville's the best for it. Like I said earlier, honest. Just do it honest. Be nice to everybody you meet, man. What else? Don't go to Broadway.
Yeah, don't go to Broadway.
But yeah, just be honest. This is the only thing I can give it. Just be honest. I know I've probably said that a billion times. Take a shot every time Bryant says be honest. But yeah, that's it. There's a lot of great people up here that will welcome you in and just be yourself, and you'll be good. If it wasn't for Parker being such a great guy and inviting us to shindigs he had and introducing us to people, I don't know where we'd be. And I'm very grateful for Parker Forbes. Shout out Parker. Come on.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude. Okay, so like reflecting back on when you first started as an artist, what is like one of the biggest challenges you've had to overcome, and how did you get through it?
Mm. In the beginning, I would always try to finish every song and like be like, oh, it has to be a song. But it took me months to realize not every song is going to get finished. You know, if it's try to finish it, but if it's stuck, I mean, either go on to something else or try to come back to it, or you can have whatever you've written right there to take and put into something else. But that was a big hurdle that not every song is going to get finished, and not every song has to rhyme either. Like I was always like, okay, what rhymes with like, but in reality, just take another shot, just be honest, and practice, you know. I There was one point I was writing every day and just kind of fell back on it. It was getting to the point where I'd go over to Caden's and I wouldn't have anything in my head, and that's kind of what led me to do it like every other day or whatever. But yeah, probably tonight or something, I'll sit there and type up maybe a poem or something on my phone. But yeah, just that was the biggest thing because hear all these pop songs and they'd rhyme this and rhyme that. And it's like, no, just whatever comes out, let it flow, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sweet. What would you say is your biggest personal growth from last year to this year?
I'm worrying about the people that are there with me instead of the people who are not there with me. If you get my drift, you know, because I would always worry about like, say, if I had a shindig and a bunch of people came over, I'd be worried about the people who didn't show up.
Uh,
Who, the people that don't really want me in their life, but I would always like, I had some family members like that. So I'm like, they don't give a shit about me. I shouldn't really care what they think. If that makes sense, it's like
yeah,
stop worrying about the people who don't show up and worry about the people who do show up. Oh, so and so didn't come over. Oh, who cares about so and so? You got X, Y, and Z over here, and they're here for you. So counting the people I have in my corner. That's my biggest personal growth.
yeah,
Yeah, if that made sense, it didn't even make sense to me.
yeah. It's from going from a scarcity mindset to an abundance
Yeah,
mindset.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so how can people support you as an artist?
My Instagram is just Bryant Rikard. Um, Safe or Dead. Check out our music on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, Pandora. I don't know what else. I just use Spotify and Apple Play. Um, Check out Caden Stone. Check out Noah Jones. Check out Henry Craig Henson. I think all their Instagrams are just their names too. But yeah, that's the best way to find me and the boys is our Instagrams. Um, yeah, follow me, message me. We'll be friends. Um, yeah, I'm just Bryant Rikard on Instagram.
Okay, awesome. So, how do you like to consume media? Do you have favorite YouTube videos? Do you?
Yeah, YouTube. I'm one of them TikTok people. Um, and I would say Facebook, but you'll see so much crazy shit on there. It'll be like Biden's an alien, and you're like, oh, okay, whatever. Nothing's really real on Facebook, but I like YouTube. Um, a YouTube channel I find myself going back to a lot. Good Mythical Morning. I like those guys. I just think they're so funny. What else? Thinking of any other YouTube channel. It's not like a channel I really watch. It's just Good Mythical Morning is probably the one I really return to. But yeah, TikTok, YouTube, where I consume most of my media, and trustworthy news sites too if I need to know something in the world.
Do you have any like favorite movies or books?
Oh yeah, my favorite movie. Oh man, it's kind of a hot topic now with Tropic Thunder, just for the sheer fact of they're shitting on Hollywood. It's like Hollywood shitting on Hollywood. Pulp Fiction. It's another good movie. Number one is OG Halloween. That's my number. No, the OG John Carpenter Halloween. That's my favorite film series, even though it's kind of gone goofy. I love slasher films, especially like the OG Halloween movie where he was just like a psycho dude who broke out of the thing to kill people in his hometown. Like that shit could actually happen,
Right.
But then when it was getting like he blew up and then he's like alive, and
shot by 12 gauge.
Yeah, I was like, in that last movie, I've never freaked out in public like that. Like I got pissed in a movie theater, and because just the writing was so shitty. It was like
the Rob Zombie one.
No, the new remakes that what's his David Gordon Green did, and man, what's that dude? He plays Kenny Powers.
Danny McBride.
Danny McBride, the ones they did. See, the first one out of the new trilogy was good. It kind of went back to the roots, made them like still kind of human.
Yeah.
And then the other, right after they released the first movie in theaters, they announced two other movies like 2 years apart from each other. So I bet they didn't even have time to write a good script. Like they just was like, hey, 2 more movies, and they didn't have a script, so they had to pull something out of their ass and write. But OG Halloween, the John Carpenter Halloween movie is my favorite. Tropic Thunder is my favorite comedy movie. And Pulp Fiction is my favorite Tarantino movie.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, Big Lebowski.
Oh, yeah.
Big Lebowski, because I find myself always going back to that movie.
See what happens
when you figure that. Yeah. Have you seen the back in the day they'd have to shoot scenes for TV?
Mm-hmm.
So they had to say something that kind of mimicked what they was actually saying. So he was like, "This is what happens when you rustle somebody's feathers." And he so they had to but it's funny because he's like feathers, 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 but
right.
John Goodman's so damn funny, dude.
Dude, he's like, you're out of your element, Donnie.
Yeah. Oh, fucking dude. I like how he's got the fucking Folgers came with Donnie's ashes. He's like, you took him young, like you took many young men. And nom. And then he starts shaking, and he's like, good night, sweet prince. And it just blows back over the dude, yeah. Oh, God.
He's like, I was a pacifist once, not nom, of course.
Yeah. Smokey, this is bowling, not nom. There are rules.
Yeah. Market's hero. Okay, so do you have any favorite books, or do you like to read?
Right now I'm reading that book. I think it's it was a part of the banned book shit at the bookstore, and it was Catcher in the Rye.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I'm reading right now, just because I heard that people was reading it and they would do crazy things. I'm like, what is it in this book that's making these people go shoot John Lennon or the president and shit? And there's nothing in there really to something about phonies and shit. I don't know, but I had to put it down because it's confusing. But the book that I always liked was The Alchemist.
Oh yeah, Paul Coelho.
Yeah, I picked it back up here recently because The Catcher in the Rye was like, what the fuck is this? I didn't understand it, so I'll go back to that. But Alchemist is my favorite book, and Green Eggs and Ham.
Oh yeah,
The Alchemist and Green Eggs and Ham, my 2 favorite books.
That's awesome. Is there anything else you'd like to add I might not have asked you about?
I like long walks on the beach. No, man. I think you covered it. It looks like a ransom note around here with all my.
I know.
It's all the stuff I said is but yeah, man. I think we pretty much covered it, man. just check us out. Keep listening to the good music coming out of Nashville, not the Broadway stuff, but the East Nashville stuff, you know. And yeah, keep your art honest. Keep your friends close. Love your family. That's all I got. Awesome. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, I've got one last question for
What's
you.
up?
What is something absurd you love or do?
Absurd? I like to film my buddies doing like Jackass type shit.
What do y'all do?
Like we're walking, push somebody in a bush. Like, you got me. Or, you know, somebody goes to the bathroom at a restaurant, pour sugar in their water or something like that, like stupid stuff. But like I'm wanting to film. We're going to Talladega to watch a NASCAR race. I'm not a big NASCAR fan, but I like drinking in public, and I think that's cool. So they let you do that there, and all my buddies are going with me and my family. So I'm going to film that and see if I can turn it in like a documentary of stupid stuff. If I don't do it, then I don't do it. If I do it, I do it. Either way, you're not going to learn anything from that documentary.
It'll be funny.
Yeah, man. Oh, it'll just be us like
watch them turn left.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. It's kind of cool sitting up in there because you're sitting there, you got your beer, with all the, good, hardworking people behind it. And like when they start coming around the corner, man, especially when the pace car is still in front of them, like you feel the whole like ground shake.
Right.
And yeah, the community down there is great because we stay at like a camping spot where there's like a time set, like you can't be hooting and hollering past 10 or whatever. And so like it's real peaceful. You can just like walk up somebody's camp, like, what's going on? How's it going? They're like, oh, we boil shrimp. Here you go. It's always been nice. But that's the most absurd thing I do, sir, is film my buddies be stupid. And then professional wrestling, I like watching that.
What is like if you could do any Jackass film stunt with your buddies, what would you do?
The one where they're on like the inflatable and they're all dressed as ducks, and they had Street Bike Tommy from Nitro Circus jump on the inflatable and it shot them up, and they had like the rest of it was like the most hardcore thing we did in our videos was we had this guy that like kept coming to us. He's like, I want to be in your video. I'm like, dude, why? We have 98 subscribers, dude. Like, why? And he was like, oh man, I'll do anything. And he goes, y'all can cook me anything hot or gross and I'll eat it. And that was like ding 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 ding. So we just got a bunch of like stuff like from those like canned food drives, like stuff that's gone out of date and stuff, and just cooked for him. I took a filet of fish meal from McDonald's and put it in a blender, and I was surprised on how like quick it blended up. It was like, and I was like, and he ate it. He did exactly what he said, and that was the one that I believe to this day made me have I have a weak stomach now because of it. Because my mom was like, you can film it here, but all three of you son of a bitches have to deep clean this kitchen, and that's what we did. We got done, we called it wrap, and then we just started cleaning. But that's that's my silly side, I guess. I gotta have serious and silly.
Did that guy volunteer again?
No, actually, we never heard from him after that. I hope he's okay. No, I'm just kidding. He ate it, and he goes, we had this Hot Pocket. We took all the good crap out of it and put like, oh man, what was it? It was like sardine and what was it? It was beef gravy Hot Pockets and like sardines and stuff, and he eats it, right? And I'm like, oh my God, like even in the background, I'm like, he's eating it. And Kenny was like, what do you rate our meal here? And he goes, and I heard him go, that's a 2. All the rest of it's is shit. And I was like, what? You rated something? You thought something was good? Like, it was just literally like grabbing shit and putting it in and just like mixing it and salt on everything and he was like, yeah, I'll eat them Hot Pockets again. I'm like, oh my God, dude, what's wrong with you? I don't even know how to make it anymore. Like we just threw shit together. But yeah, man, that's my goofy
Cool.
side, man.
Well, thank you again for coming over.
Hey, thanks for having me, bro.
Dude. Absolutely.